So now we got an idea that a cloud engineer having a full responsibility, having in credentials, and this credential is basically root user, having full power to use anything here, but your team does not have a power. You have to give the users, and you have to give limited and appropriate permissions according to the roles. So these roles and everything, who's going to give that? Everything will be your project manager will give details, email. Hey, like you need to create some users, last name, first name, details of all employees and what their roles and what they need, what service they need. Everything will be mentioned by project engineer, because I don't know like which service they need. So the consultant, other team will discuss and they'll say that yes, we need these services. So we will get something, and according to them, we can give the services. Clear? Now, all the users can all the users can access the one account? Yes. So now the question is what? Company will have how many accounts? Remember this point, one or more than one account. Commonly they use what? 3 accounts commonly they use. Dev, testing, and production. They want what exactly the purpose of account? To have a separate billings. Separate billings. Example, my developers are going to use a kind of resources, some services, they want to use it. How much they use, they have to pay that much. So Amazon will generate a bill on which bank account? A specific account. Account is related to bank account. Second account, again second account. Third account. Or else one account can be combined, but billing will be separated. Every account will have what? Billing separated. So to segregate, to understand which department, which group is using what service, that means how much they are generating the bills. So that's why we'll make what? Different accounts. Different account. One other reason. So now, so we got one account. Maybe you have 3-4 administrators, cloud engineer in your company. Every account engineer will have what? Different accounts. You're responsible for account A, and you have to give this permission. So what do you have to do? You have to create your IAM users. So that's very important. Every company talk about what? Security is very important. MFA, multi-factor authentication. What is that? Today's the username password is not considered as a secure credentials. Username password can be hacked. A dictionary attack can be done. A technique used by hackers is called what? Dictionary attack. They can in a seconds or in a few seconds they can find out your password. So it's very important. You should not rely on the username password you're typing. You should have alternative credentials. OTP, you see that? When you do bank transaction, you'll find what? That means on phone, other device. So if the hacker want to hack, they need to hack your system, they need to hack your SMS, a lot of things are there. It's not possible for that, it's not easy. So that means it's good to go for what? Multi-factor authentication. One factor is what? Username, password. Second factor is what? OTP. Then you type OTP, then you can log in. That means same time hacker need to hack your laptop and your mobile. So that to make more secure, IAM. Is IAM providing any MFF facility? Yes. Every company implement multi-factor authentication for the users. So it's not that username password you're going to create. It's not that you're going to create policy. You have to add MFA also. For every user you have to do what? MFA. What is that? MFA. You have to apply for every users. Fine. Now even you see that some user want to connect from what? AWS CLI. What is that? Command line interface. What is CLI? Command line interface means black screen. It's not a graphical click, click, click. They want to operate your AWS services from command line. So now we have a facility that to give him and these people, we say what? Access control will be what? We say CLI. And here access is what? console. What is that? So these users need console, but these users need what? CLI. They want to operate from command line. So how can I do that? So in your IAM, we have a facility called what? Access control. Do you want to give console access? Do you want to give a CLI command? So who need to know all those things? Cloud engineer. Cloud engineer should know how to create users, how to set a password, how to set a permission policies, how to set multi-factor authentication because of security. You have to understand security is top priority. Top priority every organization. And then you have to understand about what? How to give access to account. Some people need CLI, some people need console. So who is going to define all those things? Cloud engineer. Is it clear now? You got idea? This IAM is all about this only. This IAM is all about users, password, policies, MFA, CLI, console. That's it. So if you understand well, diagrammatically understand well, because nowadays Google and Microsoft, other people encouraging what? Learn by doing. They're doing what? Earlier, what I see that when I want to do a kind of certification on by Microsoft, MCSC or MCSA, so when I purchase from the Koti a book, so they have given what? Bundle. I surprised how it's possible to do certification, to write examination, they have given bundle, and it's not possible to read all those things. Even after reading also, you will not guarantee that you will get same work in a company. So from there, I mostly follow what? Multiple resources, collecting and making a short and making a practical approach, understanding the practical. But most of the leader of the ID, they said what? The best way to learn is what? Learn by doing. Because practical, IT is practical. IT is completely practical. Why not to go for learn by doing? They said what? Learn by doing. So now when you see these all those things, I have explained in 5-10 minutes. If you understand what is my responsibility, I have to create user, I have to create password, I have to create policy, I have to create a multi-factor authentication for security, extra security layer, and I have to give access. Some people need CLI access, some people need console access. The word, technical word. If you know that, you said lot. 70-80% you have completed your word. I am understanding. But how to do is very simple, because it's not a command line. Click, click, click. So you can create, but you have to understand real-time scenario. Why I am creating this? That the scenario is very important. In real time, how you are standing, where you are standing, and what's your responsibility. How do you know how many users are there? Who is going to communicate to you? A project manager will communicate to you. Through email, they'll give an official email and give all the information, instruction to you. Please create these users for them. Then after creating user and password, you have to pass these files to what? Your project manager. Project manager will supply to all the employees. Please take your emails, username, password, and just use it. Getting point? If they say tomorrow I forget my password, so who's going to be responsible for that? Cloud engineer. The query will come to the cloud engineer. The technical word we say what? Ticket. That means someone forget the password and they'll call, they'll email. I'm sorry, like here I'm a John and I forget my password and I'm not able to access my account. I'm sorry. Please help me out quickly. I want to do something. So this query goes to where? Cloud engineer responsible, because he's having full power to do that. Is it clear? So now we got this point, and now we are going to say something about, if someone asks you in an interview, what is IAM? You say Identity Access Management is an authentication authorization for security compliances, grant limited access service for single account or multiple accounts. If you have single account in your organization or multiple accounts, which service we are going to use? IAM. IAM can be used for single account or multiple accounts. It's concerned about role-based access control. That is RBAC framework. Is it free service or paid service? I have to pay something for creating users? No. I have to create something policy. If I create policies and MFA, I have to pay? No. They're saying free service. Then the service, the application IAM is running with Linux or Windows or what? How much RAM, how much CPU? Do I need to concentrate on that? No. It's saying that software is ready, just use it. So that's a word SaaS, software as a service. That's a word software as a service. It's a global service or regional service? Global means for entire 32 regions, if I want to create any resources, if I create user account, it can be used for entire regions. There is no problem. You create user here, but use in every account, every regions. So global service, right? Is it clear now? Any questions now here? What I have given in a definition. First is what? This point is very important, which define everything. I am defined with two words: authentication and authorization. Authentication means when the user type username password, who is going to check whether it's right or wrong? I am. Who is going to allow? Who is going to deny? Who can access? Who cannot access? I am. Authorization means what? After login, what they can access, what they cannot access. Who is going to decide? I am. So I am, we have a concept called authorization. Authorization is what? Privileges. For security compliances, grant limited access. Always don't give full permissions. Try to give what? Granular. Granular or limited, least. The word you can say, technical words. Service for single account or multiple account. That means this service is not for account, only one account. It can be go for what? Multiple accounts. It comes under what? RBAC, rollback access control framework. That means you can create what? Roles. One is acting as a backup operator, one is acting as a system administrator, one is acting as a EC2 administrator. One service, one power user. So I can create a lot of things. Is it clear? Can you write in a brief manner, please? IAM. First heading, first page. We are going to do practical now. Before that, you should have something in your mouth to say some interview. That's why I'm giving this. Done? Now, components of IAM, or you can say components, or you can say objects of IAM. What you can create in IAM? Users, group, roles, and policies. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? 4 components. What is user? Why will you create user? How many number of employees are there? You have to create users. User means accessing the services by the human is called users. And what is roles? Accessing not by the human. A service want to access, a service A want to access service B. Example, when you go for Flipkart or Amazon online, Flipkart, whenever you proceed for the payments, you click payment proceed Axis Bank or something, and it goes to what? Axis Bank. One application talking to other application. That means it's not human. So that means it needs permission, authentication, authorization is required. So we are going to create what? Roles. So we have 200 plus services. Sometimes a service want to talk to what? Other services on behalf of administrator. So you have to create what? You have to create roles. Roles is like a basically user for authentication, authorization. But for service to service communication, roles. For user human interaction, that is called what? Users. User use, the human use user accounts, and the service use what? Service accounts. What is group? Clubbing the multiple user. Example, developer having how many developers we have? 100 developers. If I create all the 100 users, I'll attach to the 100 users to what? One group, one object. So now if I want to apply the policy, I'm not going to do 100 times policy to each user. I apply to group. Automatically inherit to what? All the users. Is it clear? This is the point. That means it's make your management easy. But it's not compulsory to have a group. But it's highly recommended to have a group to have a good easiness. That means your administration or management can become easy. Because when you apply policies, if you have 100 users, it's going to time waste. And time is money in business. So they want automation. So we create all the users attached to what? One group. And you policy apply what? Not users. You apply on the groups mostly. So you understand user, you understand group, you understand roles. You can write your own or you can use copies. Because if you understand them, you can jump to the practicals. We know what is cloud formation service, right? Already we have like information about the services. CF stand for again cloud formation. Done. Best practice is what? Create user with apply permission with what? Rather than user. Done up to here. Types of policies, customer manage and AWS manage.
Yes.
The policies, some policies created by Amazon, some policies we have to create. Done? Just a minute. We'll go for what? What is MFA? How to add more layer of better security? Answer is what? Multi-factor authentication is a security check with multiple ways. Example, username, password, factor 1, and OTP is what? is sent to mobile on app factor 2. That means 2-factor or 3 factors. Even when you log into the email, Gmail or something, sometime it will send a code to your mobile or email address. So you have to check and you have to go. So it's good to have this practice to avoid hacking. Please write down this layer first. So now we'll start something on practically how to create user account. So first what you have to do, log into the AWS, right? AWS account. Then you have to use which service? IAM service. So can I go? I have some IAM service you can see here. I'm into what? I'm logging to AWS. You can just take a screenshot and just later you can do that. Now when I log in with my account, first of all, for services, I can search in IAM, simple. If you want to access service, simple, you can just type in IAM and you get what? Open it. It will give a different separate page, dashboard of IAM. On the left side, there will be commands to perform. Right side, the information of the account. What is my account ID? When I click on this, you will find out Amazon will generate some account ID for every customer. So here I have got what? Account ID. So now, it's saying about information, what are the recommendations are there. It's saying MFA is not attached to the root user. Please enable it for extra security. Root user has no security keys, access keys. Please add it. Improve security. So that's recommendations are there in a dashboard. How many users we have created, how many group we have created, how many roles we have, policies, identity providers, all things is saying IAM resources. That is component what I said. Group, users, roles, policies, and identity provider means external party, external third party. So now, on the left side even they have given some, this also, documentation. That means you want to read more about this. You have what? Tools, policy simulator, web identity federation playground, additional information, best practice in IAM documentation, videos, blogs, additional resources. They have given all help also. Now, first I'll create what? Go to user group, create a group. Example, I'll create only one sample. Then you have to create what? All the team, testing, DBA, security, all those things. So now I'll say what? Developer group. Okay, Python developers are there. So I'm giving it. It's asking said users. You want to add user? No, I don't have a user right now. So it's saying policy do you want to? Yes. Policy you want to apply. So developer need what? Lambda. Lambda is a service. Amazon which used mostly by what? Developers. Mostly used by developers. And I want what? Cloud9. Cloud9. You say Cloud9? Cloud9 is a developer tool where they can write some program, Java, PHP, Python, and they can execute, they can compile, they can interpret, a lot of things they can do online itself. No need to install any software in a computer. Sometimes they need what? Code deploy. So there is a service called what? Code deploy. You see code deploy. So whatever the permission, you have to select the permission which is provided by. That means this permission who created? I have not created. By default created by Amazon, so you can select. But when it's not found, whatever you need the permission, it is not finding, you can create your own permission. You can create your custom permissions. Customer permission. Is it clear? Scrolling down. Create a group. So what I did, create a group, giving a name, setting a permission. That's it. Two things I have done. Once I've created group, then I want to create what? Users. Are you able to see that? Users, right? From here you can see what? Create users. I want to give a username. I'll say P1 Python 1 user. Whatever the names you have got. You got John and console username, console access. It says, do you want identity center? No. I want create IAM users. Generate password automatically or custom is good to go for what? Auto generate. It will generate complicated password. And user must create a new password at next login. Example, I created the user for the Python user John, and I have given. So they are typing in they are login first time. So it will ask what? Change the password. Because the password who created? Administrator created. So next time, or if something happened to the John account, they should not blame on me. Because they have their own password they have created. Now I don't know the password. So that's why it's good to go for what? User must create a new password at next sign in. So when I say this, next, it's asking what? Set permission. How do you want to set? You want to attach permission individually on the user? No. I want to do what? If I add the user into this group, I'm adding that user into this group. Whenever I add it, automatically the permission applies. Why? Permission applies. Why? Because already group having a permission. So whoever become the member of this group, automatically the permission will be applied to that objects, members. Clear? I selected add user to a group and I have selected group. Then that's it. Review and say what? User is created. Now it's saying what? Console sign in, username, password generated automatically. So these things, this information, this credential, you have to send to where? Email it. So Amazon, they said that you can download this file. This file will have all the credentials. This file will have what? So you can see that when I open it, it needs Excel file, Excel program. So it will have this username, password. So this file you can forward to where? Developer, right? Is it clear? It's very important to download this file, or else again username password you cannot have. You cannot see again password. You can reset, but you cannot see the password. So it's good to have what? Download CSV file. Can you do it quickly now? One, group and user. Apply the permission. Apply permission what? At least basic EC2 service or S3 permission. Just give small permission. Log into IAM user. Creating a group, giving a proper name, Python or Java or Go language, anything, any team. जी online. Have you started? Group user.
Started, sir.
But only 2 minutes I am giving.
Yes, sir.